Hello everyone and welcome to the Financial Friday session. I believe you are doing well and that you are blessed of the Lord wherever you are watching me from. I guess your day is going down well and that you are, enjoying every good thing that is happening around you, and in case there are some bad things that are happening around you, I just pray that you have the grace to endure. So as we are about to start today's session, I encourage you to keep on inviting your friends. Remember, it's Financial Friday, and at this hour we usually get a chance to discuss on a financial topic that I feel most of us need to learn about. And of course, always feel free to share with me any topic you'd like me to discuss on when it comes to matters of money management in the upcoming financial sessions. But for today, we are going to discuss on how you can teach your kids money skills. I know this is a topic most of us have been wondering. How can I teach a 5-year-old about money? How can I teach a 3-year-old about money? This is what we are going to discuss today, and I will show you how you can do it in a very easy, practical and fun way. So just as we wait for more people to join, I'll give us like 2 minutes. Invite your friends, tag as many people as possible. Meanwhile, I'll try to update the live session with the topic, because I can see a lot of people are asking what is it about. So invite as many people as possible, tag your friends, and most of all, ensure you have a pen and paper with you as we are about to start. Meanwhile, I'll play a music in the background as we wait for others to join us. As we wait for the others to join us, remember the topic for today is how to teach children money skills. So keep on inviting your friends. I can see Edith Wambui, you are with us. Thank you so much for joining. Joshua Njoroge, you are saying what's up. What's up is Financial Matters. So tag your friends and let's keep learning. And our very able admin, Miss Akelo, is here with us. Thank you so much, Miss Akelo, for joining us. So let's keep on inviting us. We are about to start. We'll start at exactly 1:08 p.m. So let's keep tagging our friends and alerting each other. Meanwhile, to those that are joining in, thank you so much. You can just send in a hi and say where you are watching us from, so that we can, we can get to know where you are watching me from. Silas, you're saying how to teach children. Yeah, how to teach kids or children money skills. This is a session that you don't necessarily have to be a parent. I understand we do have parents in the group. Even if you are a Sunday school teacher or you have been called in the children ministry, it's important for you to teach children about stewardship. And part of stewardship is managing money. So if you've been called in the children ministry, this is a live session you need to attend. If you are an auntie, an uncle, or maybe you are a guardian to some children, or maybe you are even a mentor, this is a session you need to attend, because these are skills that you can share with them or you can teach them that will help them in their life. Remember, most of us, when we were growing up, we didn't have the chance or the opportunity to be taught about managing money. Even most of our schools don't teach financial skills. So when you get out here, you cannot say you don't use money. Money is a requirement. We touch money, or we handle money on our day-to-day basis. So you can imagine, since we were not taught while we were growing up, most of the mistakes we've made, financial mistakes that most of us have made, is because we were not taught how to handle money at a young age. We were taught about discipline, we were taught about respect, we were taught how to present yourself, but nobody ever mentioned to you how to handle money. So when you have grown up, you are now an adult, you have to use money daily. Basically, there is no transaction you can do without money. That is when you realize, I didn't know how to handle money. Some of us, we found ourselves in very messy financial situations just because we missed out on a small information that we could have gotten it maybe at 5 years that could have helped us. So tag your friends. I can see Hillary Rotich, you are with us, you're watching from Nairobi, thank you so much. Kendi Mwika, you're watching from Meru, thank you so much. Kimameti Enoch, you're watching from Naivasha, thank you. And I can see Mel C, I hope I've mentioned it well. You are watching from Nyeri, thank you so much for tuning in. John from Membli, Ruiru, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, I can see Silas, you are with us. Thank you all for joining in. Just allow me some time to update the live session for those who are bumping into us, so that they can know what is happening in this live session. Remember, the topic is how to teach children money skills. And as I understand, one of the vision of this group is to equip and empower individuals. And part of being equipped and empowered is you need to know how to, there are skills you need to acquire, because most of us, we are looking forward to having families in the near future. So you need to be empowered how you teach your children about money skills. As I said, if you have been called in the children ministry, this is something you need to be teaching your Sunday school students. If you are an auntie or an uncle, this is something you need to be teaching your niece, your nephew. Don't allow them to make the same mistakes you've made. Teach them. Let them know there is money and how they can handle it when they grow up. So I think we can start officially. Once again, I want to thank all of you for coming to be with me on this live session. As I mentioned earlier, that the topic for today is how to teach children money skills. As usual, before we can start, we'll start with a word of prayer. Then we can proceed to the day's topic. So I request you where you are to agree with me in faith and bow down your head so that we can pray. Father, we thank you for this opportunity that you have given us to once again learn about money and get to understand financial principles. Lord, as we share this amazing topic, as we share insights, oh God, may your Holy Spirit be revealed to us. May you give me an utterance from above, and that may what I say be impactful to the generation, oh God. Open our minds, Father, and of course, give us the spirit of understanding, that we may understand every principle that will be shared today, oh Lord. And most of all, give us the grace to put it into action so that we can transform generations around us. We can transform our communities. We can transform our lives, all for your glory, Father. We thank you, Lord. Thank you for all the revelations you're going to give us. And thank you for manifesting in this session. In the mighty name of Jesus, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. So thank you so much, Candy. You have tagged your friend. Keep on tagging them. We are just starting right now. As I said, the topic is how to teach children money skills. This is a topic that you necessarily don't have to be a parent, it's something you can teach anyone. You can teach any children that are near you. As I said, if you're an auntie, if you're an uncle, if you're a mentor, if you are a guardian, if you are a grandfather, if you're a grandmother, if you are in the children ministry, or if you happen to have children around you constantly, this is something you need to be teaching them. As I said, especially for those who've been called to the children ministry, part of what you need to teach the children, we've taught them about obedience, we've taught them about forgiveness. We also need to teach them about stewardship, and part of stewardship is teaching them how to handle money. We don't want to have spiritual children that don't know how to handle money. They don't know how to make financial decisions. We need to equip them all round, and part of it is money management skills. So as we start off, I'd like to first of all thank you for being here with me. Thank you so much for sparing your time to join me so that we can learn together. I would also like to take this opportunity to truly thank our admins, Mr. Diane and Mr. Kayla, for giving us this opportunity and creating such a noble platform to empower people, individuals, and the world at large. We really honor you for that. I'd also like to thank our moderators. Thank you so much for the great work you do. Thank you for the sacrifice you do just to see that everything is running on smoothly. And most of all, thank you to everyone that shares their wisdom with us. Personally, I have learned a lot from this group, and I'd just like to thank everyone that takes their time, uses their internet, their bundles to post something, whether it's a question, an advice, an insight. We really appreciate you. So just to mention, last week we discussed about money management, and we had a great session whereby I taught most of us how to overcome financial problems that you may have found yourself in. And one thing that came up is that I really insisted on us learning to teach our children money skills at a younger age. And most of you kept on asking me, even after the live session, you were asking me, how can I teach my 3-year-old about money? How can I teach my 5-year-old about money? And I decided to do this live session because by the grace of God, most of the I've been empowered or honored to do sessions that cut across multiple ages, and one of my segment is I have a children's session whereby I teach kids on matters of money management. And as I said, how I will teach kids how to handle money is totally different with how I will teach youths. It's totally different with how I'll teach grown-ups, and it's totally different with how I'll teach people who are 55 years and above. So I thought it would be great for me to share with you how I teach my kids in my session how to handle money, so that you can be empowered and go use the same skills to teach the children around you, to teach if you're a single dad, if you're a single mother, if you're an auntie, if you're an uncle, if you're a mentor, you are a guardian, you are a Sunday school teacher, or you're even a teacher in a school. Go and use them to the kids. One way you can impact a generation is by transforming kids and youths. There's a scripture actually in the Bible that says the youths will see vision. So meaning that young men, in this case I take it as youths and children, they are the next generation. So if you teach them about money, you are planting a seed that is going to harvest in the next 20 years. Whether you'll be there or not, a child will be like, if it wasn't for my auntie to teach me about money, I wouldn't be here. The same way we usually say, if it wasn't for my parents to educate me, if it wasn't for my parents to teach me this, I wouldn't be who I am today. So let us now change the narrative. Instead of just having memories of how you played in the mud and how and how you took money from people and spent it on candy, let's help our children have a narrative of, my mommy taught me how to save, now I am a good saver as an adult. My daddy taught me how to invest, now I'm a good investor as an adult. My mommy taught me on the repercussions of taking debt or misusing credit card, now I know how to handle debt. Let us change the narrative of our children by planting seeds of money management. So to start us off, I think, as I said, the topic will be how to teach children money skills. So thank you all that are joining in. I will start with just telling us a brief, maybe history or something you need to know about children. Children learn by imitating or copying what you do. Now, we have two types of learning mechanism, and one of them that has come out strongly in children, it's called kinesthetic. I'm not sure of the spelling, maybe the doctors in the house will say it, but this is where a child will learn by observing you. So if a child grows up seeing you, let's say, dancing every morning, this child, as he grows up, he will grow up dancing every morning. If a child grows up in an environment where people are speaking positively every now and then, this child will grow up speaking positively. If a child grows up in an environment whereby people appreciate listening to each other, or you're given an opportunity to be heard or to speak your voice out, this child will grow up learning to speak about themselves because they saw it, they observed it. And that is why you might see in kindergarten, they really don't focus on theory, they focus on activities, because they understand, if I tell a child, you drive a car by doing like this child will not grasp the concept. But if I get into a car and drive it without even saying a word, the next day you'll find this child doing something like that. Even if it's not a real car, he will be or she will be imitating. So children learn by observation. Now, if you are a person who is around children, be very careful with how you carry yourself when you are around children. The same way, if you have children and you are telling them, let's say, I believe we are all saved, but you are telling a child something negative or something positive. Maybe you're telling the child like, don't eat too many sweets, they will damage your teeth. But on the other hand, you are constantly eating candies. You know what will happen to that child? He won't listen to what you say. He will see, why are you eating candy yet you're telling me not to eat it? So the child will keep on eating the candy. So they learn from seeing what we do. And I believe as a grown-up, especially the things that are happening right now in our society, most people, as they were children, they were exposed in very volatile environment. Maybe you grew up in a home that was not really stable, or you grew up in an environment of violence. Trust me, maybe your parents, like they would tell you, you are not supposed to beat others, but while you go back in the house, they are fighting. So you are observing that, and that is what has now showed up in our society currently. Most people are violent, not because they really want to, but it's a habit they learned or they observed while they were growing up. the same case applies when it comes to money. A child sees how you handle money. Trust me. They are not just there to be sent to shops and bring back change, and no. They see how you handle money. They see how you react when you don't have money. They observe how you react when you have money. I remember in one of my sessions with some kids, I usually give them a session to just have a Q&A and give me their experiences. And one thing that happened is that there's a child that told me, you know what, Sheila, in my home, every time that my parents are earning money, like towards end month, everything is okay, we are happy, my parents are so happy. But towards like 15th and 18th there, my parents are always angry. They are shouting at us. If you ask anything, they tell you there's no money. They are so mad at us. So what that child understood is that, so when I asked the child, what do you understand from that? The child said, I think money makes people happy. Because every time my parents have money, we are happy. But when they don't have money, they are angry, they are mad at us, they shout at us. Now, what clearly came out is that this child is observing. The child was observing what was happening in their house. Now, if you are a parent and you're watching this, please be careful on how you carry yourself within the circumference of your children. Let them not copy bad money habits from you. Let them know about money. Children learn about money by imitating what we do. Another example is I had a child who told me, you know what, in my house we have jars that have been labeled vacation, birthday, charity, and each jar we put money. Now, this child, basically what I saw from this child is that when he grows up, he will know how to save money and budget, because there are jars in their house that they have labeled. This is a jar that we put money for vacation. This is a jar that we put money for giving. This is a jar that we put money for church, all that. So ensure what you do around your children, it is something that they can be proud of speaking about it 10 years down the line. Ensure that the actions you do when you are having money, they are actions that a child can look up to, and that memory stays with them 20 years down the line, and not a negative memory, but a memory that will be of use to them, a memory that will empower them to learn how to use their money. So there's something I noted here, that children as young as 3 years can understand concepts of money, like saving and spending. I will repeat that. Most of you have been asking, at what age should I at what age should I start to teach my children about money? And according to my research, is that children as young as 3 years old can understand concepts like saving and spending. Of course, there are other researchers that will tell you it's important for you, even when you are still pregnant with a child in your belly, as a mother and a father, it's important for you to start speaking positive attributes about money to the child. I haven't had the opportunity to be a parent, a biological parent, but what I tend to imagine is that when you go to antenatal clinics, I think as a mother you are told on things you need to do, and my thinking is that you are also told to speak positively to the child in your belly. And this applies even when it comes to money matters. And this is not for the mother alone, even the father. You need to, when your wife is pregnant, you need to set aside some time of the day. You as the mother and the father of the child, touch the belly of the child and speak positive things. Speak about money to them, and don't speak negatively like you child, I don't want you to be having credit cards. I don't want, no. You need to speak positively. Make positive affirmations. You could say that as our child, we are setting you up in strong financial foundations. You will have the wisdom to manage money. Remember, this is a child still in the tummy, because there is a research that shows how you communicate to the child while he or she is in the stomach. You know, they are still growing, their psychology is still growing. It impacts a lot. And that is why even I believe once a woman has given birth, there is the skin-to-skin session that you are asked to do. Also, the fathers are asked to do the same, because they need the child to understand you. And sometimes when you're doing their skin-to-skin session, I always encourage upcoming parents, it's important to keep talking about positive things to that infant. Now, as the child keeps on growing, even at 6 months, instead of just playing Tom and Jerry the whole day to the child, get cartoons that teach about money. There are a lot of cartoon networks that talk about money for children. Now, get the cartoons that play in your TV screens to have that concept. I'm not saying Tom and Jerry is bad. I'm not saying the other cartoons, Cinderella or all that, I'm not saying they are bad, but at least ensure the Cartoon Network that your 6-month-old child, your 1-year-old is watching, they are communicating something about money. They are communicating about, investing, saving, spending. Trust me. There's a time I saw a video of I think the child was 1 year old. This child was watching cartoon, and she was doing the actions that was happening in that screen. So you can imagine if your child is watching a cartoon that is teaching about money management, the child will be doing the same. And this is a 1 year old. So by the time he or she gets to 3 years, you can now start verbalizing these concepts. So don't tell me that you're waiting until your child gets to 10 years. That is when you're starting to tell them you need to save. Hey, you need to spend. No. You need to start it as early as possible. As I've said, when God gives us that opportunity to be married and marry, when you and your wife will be pregnant, it's important for you to start speaking money affirmations to that child in the belly. Once the child comes out during the skin-to-skin session, speak positively, include money affirmations in that. And as the child is growing 1 year, 2 years, let the Cartoon Network that is running in your screens at least have a concept about money. And once the child has, I'm sorry, I think my phone is having some problem, but I hope it will be okay. But as I said, let your kids learn about money as early as possible. Teach them. Be part of watch with them these cartoons. And most of all, remember they are watching. A 2-year-old is watching how you do it. And that is why when a 2-year-old or a 1.5-year-old child is learning to speak, why do you think they repeat what we say? Because they are watching how the movement of our mouth. They are watching how we are, doing our actions. So don't say that your child is too young. No. If a child can learn how to speak by watching us, listening to how we are speaking, it means they can learn concepts about money by watching us. So Of course, I said the age of 3 because I understand most of the Sunday schools, they only take children from 3 years and above. So I have a lot of lessons here. I hope time will be on our side. So the first lesson you can teach your children is you can teach them how money works. Now, how will you teach them? How will you teach a child how money works? Number one, or how you can do this, is by using 3 jars or any number of jars. You can have 2 jars. I mean, jars is like something like a tin. I don't know if I have it here. Let me just see. Let me show you something. You see, like this one, this is a jar. This is just an empty jar, and it's very clear. You see it? Now, when you want to teach a child how money works, what you do is you get yourself to have jars like this. It can be big, it can be whichever size. Then you label these jars. So like, you can label this jar, you can put a label here to say saving, or you can put a label here to say giving. So you can have like 3 different jars that have been written: saving, giving, investing, vacation, birthday. Now, by doing that, by having these 3 jars, just simply having them without money, but you have put the labels like saving, investing, giving, birthday, vacation, you are teaching your child how money works. Just by simply doing that. So if you are a parent here, or if you are around children, if you can go and get jars from whichever source, then label them: saving, giving, investing, spending, whatever. That way you are teaching a child how money works. They will understand. It shows them the different ways that money, it shows them the different ways that money can be used. By them seeing the jar labeled saving, they will know, oh, okay, so money is saved. If they see a jar labeled investing, they will understand, okay, money is used for investing. If they see a jar labeled Christmas party, they will understand, okay, we need money for a Christmas party. So get to have jars and label them, so that way you'll be able to teach children how money works. That is lesson 1. Lesson 2, teach them how to set saving goals and work towards achieving them. Teach your child how to set saving goals and work towards achieving them. Now, how will you do this? You will start with something as simple as saving for a small packet of sweets. Now, there's this candy that children like. I've forgotten the name, but it looks like an egg. I've forgotten the name, but most kids like it. Now, you can use that to teach your child by letting the child know, okay, you want this candy? Yes. How much does it cost? Maybe let's say $10. Now, we are going to save for it. So this child will know that, okay, so I need to save money to be able to buy this candy. So you'll start with such a small thing. Please don't start putting pressure on your child, like telling them now we are saving for land. No. Start with something that excites them, and it's very small. As I said, it could be a packet of sweets. It could be, if your child likes pizza, you could start saving towards pizza. And once you achieve the goal, as I said, maybe the candy costs $10. Now, you'll tell your child, you want this candy, we are starting to save for it. So when you start to save for it, when you hit the $10 mark, let your child know that we have saved, and now we've achieved the goal, we are going to buy the candy. What have you simply taught that child? You have taught the child how to set a saving goal and how to work towards achieving it. And you've not done it theoretically, you have done it practically. So as a parent, anyone that is near children, start you can start by saving for something small like a packet of sweets. Now, after you have achieved that, you can now go to the next step of teaching them delayed gratification. Remember, this is still under the lesson how to set saving goals and working towards achieving them. So the second section is teaching them delayed gratification. How will you teach them delayed gratification? You will do this by, now remember, you've achieved the goal of saving for a small for the packet of sweets. Now you'll go to a bigger goal, like saving for a big ticket item, like an expensive toy. Now if a child wants a bicycle, maybe let's say he's 7 years old, he wants a bicycle. Now this is the time to show them the importance of delayed gratification. Now you will start saving towards a big thing. Maybe it will take 6 months. Remember, saving for a packet of sweets, maybe it just took you 1 week or 2 weeks. But for them to acquire a big thing like a bicycle, they will need to save for at least 3 months or 6 months. And remember, you are doing this together. Don't let your child do it alone. Do it together. Sit down and say, how far are we with our goal of achieving this bicycle? Maybe we have now saved up to half the amount. Let the child tell you which ideas he has on how you both can increase the saving amount. By doing that, just by teaching the child to delay the gratification for 6 months, you are teaching this child how to save, set a goal, and work towards achieving it. Trust me, by the time you achieve this goal and buy that bicycle, it hits different. This is something I tried with my nieces, and trust me, it was just like a whole celebration. And they learned that they need to save, they need to delay their gratification, save to have a goal, save towards it, and work to achieving it. So under the lesson how to set saving goal and working towards it, you first start with a small goal like a packet of sweets. Then you go to the next level of teaching them delayed gratification by now saving towards a big thing. It could be a toy, it could be maybe if they are going for camping, let them start learning to save for it. So the third lesson is you need to teach them how to earn money and create opportunities for them. Now this is the lesson, this is our third lesson that you can teach children, that is how to earn money and create opportunities for them. Now for this lesson, I usually separate it into two, or segment it into two, because we have younger children and we have teens. Now for younger children, let's say if the child is like 3 years to let's say to 8 years, how you will teach them to earn money is by, for example, if you have a home office, you can ask her to help you clean the home office so that you can buy a doll for her, or the doll that she has been wanting. That is if it's a baby girl. If it's a baby boy, maybe he has been wanting a certain type of toy. Now you can allow him to help you, maybe clean up the house, maybe clean up the garage, maybe, do something for you. Then as a way of paying them for that labor they have offered to you, you will buy that doll. Now, I'm not saying that we be mean to our children. No. A responsible parent is a parent that is able to provide to their kids. But when you are teaching them about money, now you want to teach them how to earn. Let them learn that money don't fall from trees. Let them understand that money doesn't just happen. You have to work for it. And once you teach a child this, it will be very hard for this child to fall for scammers when he is a grown-up. One of the reasons why most people, from my experience, you find them falling for lottery games and these gambling tricks, is because they were not taught the lesson of earning money while they were growing up. And as I said, if you have younger children, you can teach them that money is earned by letting them help you doing a certain chore in the house. It could be even helping you sweep the house. Then you'll pay them by buying them something they've been wanting for so long. Now, this is for younger children. If the child is a teenager, maybe 12 years and above, how you can teach them how to earn money. I wrote here an example. Is like, let's say you have a teenage boy who is like 12 years or 13 years, and he's been telling you that he wants a PlayStation. Now, what you do as a parent, guardian, or whichever, you will come up with an agreement and tell the child, no, you want this item, I need you to be doing this. It could be slashing the grass in the compound. You'll do this for like this amount of time, maybe for 3 months, and then as a way of paying you or paying the service you've done, I'll buy the bicycle. You see? So for teenagers, let them take up the, bigger roles. Honestly, it will be very funny to tell a teenager to help you mop a room so that you can buy them a bicycle. That will not be really impactful. You need to give them more bigger roles that can make them feel like, oh yes, I earned this bicycle, I earned this PlayStation, I earned this, give them bigger roles. And you know what it does? A lot of parents say, oh, I fear my child will hate me. No. Actually, from the children I did that with them, from the sessions I did for certain kids and their parents, what happened is that after that period, the children felt more responsible. They felt like, oh, so I can earn money. They felt respected by their parents. They felt like they are being handled like adults. They felt like their service is being recognized. So you can teach your children how to earn money and create opportunities for them just by simply offering them such kind of platforms. Remember, this does not just help them learn this lesson, but it also helps them not to fall into prey for get-rich-quick schemes. Most people that have fallen prey for get-rich-quick schemes, I said most, not all, it's because they never were taught about earning money and creating opportunities while they were growing up. So take that opportunity. Teach your children how to earn money and create opportunities. The fourth lesson you can teach them is how to manage their money by giving them pocket money. Yes. You see, the way you give your children pocket money, what you're simply doing, you are teaching them how to manage their money. You're giving them that environment to be their own money managers. Now, if you're a parent and maybe we are so used to just giving pocket money to children who are going to boarding schools, which is a good thing, but if your child is not in a boarding school, or if your nephew is not in a boarding school, and this will touch base more on parents or people who have a closer relationship with children, then learn to give them pocket money. Not necessarily because they are in a boarding school, but even in a normal household. Give them pocket money. If the child is like, let's say 3 years or 4 or 5 years, if this child can accept money from uncles and aunties, it means the same child can be given money by the parents and told, you know what, this is the beginning of the month, everybody, this is your allowance, or this is your pocket money. It could be $10, $15, whichever amount. Give them pocket money and let them learn how to manage it. Now, what happens in this case, if you've given your children pocket money and it happens that one of them finishes their money before end month, don't bail them out. This is not being harsh, but this is teaching them the art of being good stewards of what they've been given. Example, if you give your child $50 as pocket money for the month, and he goes and decides to buy candy, take his friends for outing and all that. And then by the 10th of the month, he comes back to you and is like, Mommy, can you bail me out? I don't have money to even, maybe bless my friend. What you do as a parent is like, no, I gave you your pocket money for the month. You have mismanaged it. You have to wait until next month. What you're simply doing is that you're teaching this child how to become a better money manager. If you do not bail them out this month, trust me, the next month that you give them pocket money, they will be very keen on how they spend it. They will be very keen. And what have you done? Simply, you have taught them how to be better money managers by doing it practically. And now this is where the problem comes in with people who are, let's say you are earning a salary and then by the 10th of the month you don't have money. Then you are shouting to your children, I don't have money. You're becoming so mad to them. You know what you're doing? Yes, I know it could be a very difficult situation, but what you're doing to that child is you're teaching this child not to be a good money manager, because the child is observing. My mom can have money on the 1st and by 10th he doesn't have money. He's shouting at us and doing things recklessly. The child learns that it's okay not to manage money properly. But if you do it as a person, like, you learn how to manage your money. And this is where, as an adult, having a budget is very important. It helps your children understand how to manage money. Now, to break it down to the child, start by giving them pocket money. Whether they are in boarding school or whether they are not in boarding school, give them pocket money. And I'm not saying you give them a huge amount of money. No, we are in a very dynamic era. Give them some amount of money that they can manage. It's not good to give, let's say, a 10-year-old 1 million pocket money. You are ruining that child's mindset. It's not good to give a 5-year-old $500K dollars as pocket money. You will be ruining the child. But if God has graced you with such an amount of money, there is a way you can give the child through certain channels. Don't make the child think that money is falling from trees. Let them understand that money is earned, and once you earn money, it's important for you to learn how to manage it. Otherwise, it will run away from you. And the 5th lesson, teach them how to invest. So remember, you've taught them how money works. That was lesson 1. Lesson 2, you've taught them how to set saving goals and work towards achieving them. Number 3, you've taught them how to earn money and create opportunities for them. Especially this side of creating opportunities for them, it also teaches them entrepreneurship. Personally, I'm really grateful for my mom. She taught me how to create opportunities when I was very young. I did a lot of entrepreneurship activities when I was so young that by the time I grew up, I knew how to create opportunities for myself. So do this, it will help your children. We will actually reduce the rate at which you are having unemployment, because this child will grow up knowing, in case I don't get a job, I can do this to earn money. And then the 4th lesson is how to manage. You teach them how to manage their money by giving them pocket money. Now the 5th lesson is teach them how to invest. And how do you do that? You do that by showing them how money grows and earns interest when you leave it invested. Remember, when I started, I said that you'll teach your children how money works by coming up with jars. This is a very small one, but you can come up with a bigger jar and label it. Now, you teach a child how money grows by, let's say you have a jar for them. Ensure that the jar is clear, please. I'm always against these piggy banks that are colored, especially for kids. Why? The child needs to see the money growing. So if you can have a clear jar, or if you can get a clear piggy bank for your children, let them use that to save money. Why? The reason I insist for a clear piggy bank is because the child wants to see the money growing. So if you start putting coins in this jar that I have and you've labeled it like saving, after let's say 1 month, the child will wake up one day and see, wow, our money is growing, because maybe the jar will be full with coins. Now what have you taught that child? That money grows. So the child will understand that, okay, money can grow when you save it. So ensure, if you are having a piggy bank for your kids, ensure it's a clear piggy bank, because as I said, children learn by observing. They learn by seeing. If you bring them a colored piggy bank, maybe yellow or pink, it will be very hard to tell this child that their money is growing. They will constantly be shaking it. They will constantly be wanting to break it to see the money is growing. But if it's a clear jar or a clear piggy bank, they will be seeing, oh, I put a coin, it's increasing, and finally it's full. Then now, once the jar is full, you now teach them how to invest by taking that money together with them. Now this could be, you can now go and open a bank account that has an interest rate, or you can actually go with them to start investing. If you want to invest in stock market, I'm not sure about the African stock market, but there are stock markets that allow you to open an account for your child under your name. Then you can give them full custody once they are 21 or 18. So you teach them how to invest by, first of all, they are saving money, they'll see it grow, the jar will become full, then they take it to an investment. Again, you can do this by, you can now deduct money from their pocket money and invest it in a unit trust, in a stock market, in a real estate, whichever that you feel that is good. You could even deduct some money from their pocket money to invest maybe in something like government bonds, because they are less risky. Then when you do that, you can imagine your child, how he or she will feel like, you know what, he will even go and tell his friends, you know what, for the last 3 months we've been saving with my mom. Then after we've saved, we went and bought and invested the money in the stock markets. We went and invested the money in the bank. We went and invested the money in government papers. So teach your children how to invest. And also you can teach them how to invest in business. I'll tell you my story. I think I was like 8 to 10 years. I did an activity. I was so good at reciting poems and all that. So I once had the chance to recite a poem to a very noble person in the country, and I was given a good amount of money. Now when I went home, you know what my mommy did? She told me, you know what, this money you've earned it, yes, you'll spend some part of it on candy, because I needed to enjoy, but the other amount of money, she told me to invest in something. And what did I do? Because I grew up in an environment where my mom really liked rearing chicken. So what she told me, you can invest it in chicken, I'll sell a chicken to you. So I bought a chicken while I was 8 years from the money I got from the gig that I did. Now I bought a chicken from her, and I don't mean a cooked chicken, I mean a live hen, one that is walking and all that. So with this chicken, she told me, this is now your investment. So I really took care of this hen. It was a female hen, because it laid eggs. So since I bought it from her, you can imagine how I was so careful taking care of this hen. Then it started laying eggs. Then the eggs, it hatched. Then I got chicks. So within 6 months, I had the money I had invested by buying the hen from my mama. It grew into giving me chicks. So by 6 months, I had chicks. Now, it made me feel good because I felt like my investment has given me returns. And trust me, by the end of that year, I was able to sell the chicks. They were now grown up, and I was able to get more money, and now I continue to do more business. And that is how I learned about investing. That is how the habit of investing was installed in me, that even right now when I'm a grown up, I know the dynamics of investing. You can't do the same with your children. I'm not saying you now start rearing chicken, but teach them the concept of investing. It will help them when they grow up. They will not be, when they become adults, they'll not be getting money and spending it on parties, all of it. They will learn to invest some of it and spend the other part. So I think I've taken much time. We have like 4 more lessons. Oh my god, there are so many. We have like 4 more lessons that I'll share with you. I'll just take a break to take some water. Keep on writing your questions. I am sorry today we might have to extend a little bit because I have a lot of points, because this is something that is really in my heart. I really want our children to grow in wisdom and stature as the Bible says. So I'll take a break to take some water, and meanwhile keep your questions coming. Make sure bring all your questions. Ask me how, if you're finding it hard to teach your baby how to manage money or some money skills, keep them coming. I'll take a break for like 2 minutes so that we can get to the next part as we wind up. I can see Kimameti Enoch, he was saying money skills is very essential at this time. We didn't have to get this. We didn't have time to get this knowledge. That is true. We never had that chance. And part of breaking generational cycles is not just prayer and deliverance. There is a place for that. But part of it is after you have been delivered, after you have prayed and broken those cycles, now it's time to input fresh foundations. As I'll just give us an example. When Jesus cast out a demon from, I don't know, someone, when a demon is cast out, it goes, but it stays and lingers around to see if it can come back to the place it was. So if you have broken generational cycles, it's important for you to lay fresh foundations, which laying fresh foundation means you getting the knowledge and impacting it and using that knowledge to transform your life. So we have broken the generational cycles. We have prayed about it. We have asked God to deliver us. Now it's time for us to equip ourselves and now equip our younger ones, our generations, so that they don't have the same cycles when they are grown up. You don't want to be casting out demons now, then cast the same demons when you are 60 years old. No. That means that you left the place open such that the same foundations were able to come back. So if when we teach each other, when we teach especially our children, our generation is very sensitive. There's a lot on the media, and the media is really trying so hard to take away values. It's up to me and you to rise up, take up the mantle, and start teaching those children that are near us. Teach them. They may not be your biological children, but if you have a chance, if you're an auntie, if you're a Sunday school teacher, if you're a teacher in a school, use that opportunity, plant that seed. Teach them about money, and that is why I'm here to teach you how you can do it very easily. I can see a lot of you are tuning in. Mary, you have a question, I'll answer that. Miss Akele, you are saying this is super informative. Thank you so much. I can just say all glory to God for empowering me with such a grace to share with the body of Christ on matters of money management. So back to our lesson. We are now on lesson 6. Remember, we've already covered 5 lessons. The 6th lesson is open a bank account for your children so they will learn to manage money without actually having it in their pocket. And this answers the question, Mary, you've asked me. If your child is a teen and eats all money, what should I do? That is lesson 6. Lesson 6 is open a bank account for your child so they will learn to manage money without actually having it in their pocket. Why am I insisting on this? I know we have had the concept that you shouldn't let your money lie in the bank. I agree with that. But when it comes to teaching a child, you can agree with me, even you yourself, when you have money in your pockets, all of a sudden you start having expenses. All of a sudden things just come up that want you to spend money on. But when you have money in a bank account, you'll start to calculate, how will I go to the ATM? If you don't have an ATM card, you start thinking, I'll have to set some time aside to go to my bank. By the time you think all that, if you really wanted to make an impulse buying, you won't do that. But if you have money within reach, it's very easy for you to spend it. And this really applies to children. Since they don't have a lot of expenses, as a parent, you're taking care of most of their expenses. You're giving them shelter, you're giving them food, clothes, and all that. Now, when you give them pocket money, chances are high they will not know how to use it very well, especially when you're starting out. So what you do, you open a bank account for them. Now, just the same way you save 10% of your income automatically to your bank account, this is what you do. If you're giving your child pocket money, let's say $50, you let the child know you have a bank account. Yes. Now, out of the pocket money I'm giving you, since you need to learn how to save for your future, we deduct 10%. So you deduct 10% from the pocket money and channel it directly to their bank account. Now, this is where I fight with a lot of parents. Why? Once you've opened a bank account for your child, the child is really keen on putting money in their bank account after they've saved. You've been deducting from their pocket money. Now, as a parent, you find yourself in a fix. Then, since you think that this is a child I gave birth to, you don't even consult with them. You go and take that money from their bank account and use it. Then when the child tries to check their statement, they're like, where did my money go? They become so demoralized. You're like, I spent it. I used it to buy food for you. That is a wrong thing you're doing to that child. Yes, you may have had good intentions, but taking a child's money without their approval is wrong. Just the same way you find that in your bank account your money is disappearing. Imagine how you go to that bank account very angry, wanting to see the manager. That is the same thing that happens to your child. The child might not be able to share their emotions to you because they are scared, or they are trying to show you respect as a parent, but you are planting a very bad seed in that child. The child will have trust issues when they grow up. Most of the trust issues that people have with money, despite them being conned and all that, some of them it stems from when they were children. Maybe an uncle or an auntie, or they were blessed with money then, or maybe they were saving towards something. Then you as a parent, you went and took that money without asking them, without seeking their approval, and used that money. As I said, you may be having good intention when using that money, but it's very courteous to let your child know, seek their approval, ask them, let them know, baby, I'm broke now, but we see you have some money in your account. Can you lend me some? And if you are borrowing from your child, ensure you pay it back. If you borrow from your child's account, pay it back. Because if you don't pay it back, you're planting a seed of a child being a defaulter when they grow up. So if you borrow money from your child's account, if you borrow money from their piggy bank, pay it back. The same way you pay back a bank loan with seriousness, pay back your child's money with seriousness. you will have delivered them from defaulting as grown-ups. If you want to take money from your child, yes, you've opened a bank account for them. You're trying to make them to be disciplined, not to spend all their pocket money. Learn to seek their approval. For sure, if you're not able to repay it back, let the child know, like, baby, today we don't have food, and I'm in a financial situation. Can you bail us out? Trust me, the child will feel valued. He or she will feel that, wow, my parent recognizes my effort of managing money, and they will gladly lend it to you. They'll gladly be happy to help their family get out of a financial situation. So if you're a parent and you have been taking away money from your child, please, without their approval, start changing that narrative. You are breaking that child. You are giving them trust issues. You are making them to be demoralized. One of the reasons most people don't stick to their saving goals is because when they tried to save when they were children, their parents took away that money from them without seeking their approval. So the child feels like, even if I save this money, my mom will take it away from me, or my daddy will take it away from me. Stop doing that. If a child has saved money, you've opened a bank account for them, they are trying their best to save money, to put money in their account. Don't be the devourer, please. Stop being the devourer for your child's financial future. Seek their approval the same way you seek approval when you want to withdraw money from your saving account. When you're borrowing money from a bank, you ensure you repay it. If you take money from your child, repay it back with the same seriousness you take when you take money from a financial institution. So that was lesson 6, whereby you open a bank account and let your children learn how to manage their money without actually having it in their pocket. We have a lot of banks that have kids accounts. Some of them call it I don't know, but most banks have a kids account. Now it's your time to do shopping for that. Look around. What account is good for your child? Ensure the account that you're choosing is an account that can give them interest. Even if it's 2%, let them see that their money is actually doing something. Remember, it's not about the money they are making. Remember, you are instilling a skill. When you are instilling a skill, you don't look at the result. You look at the end goal. So don't look at, now I'm looking for a 10% account. No, you can even go for a 3% interest account, just to ensure your child is learning that skill. Lesson 7 is help them understand the pros and cons of buying something on credit. How will you teach them this lesson? You do that by let them learn that you pay more because of interest. I will repeat the lesson. The lesson is help them understand the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages of buying something on credit. Now, how will you do this? Now, if you have, you can go with them for a shopping. Maybe you want to buy something. It could be a laptop or a tablet. Then you go with them to a shop and see, compare the prices. If they buy this tablet for cash, maybe it could be costing, let's say, $500. But if they buy it on credit, maybe higher purchase, at the end they will end up paying $600. So they will differentiate. If I buy it on cash, I'm getting it for $500, but if I'm buying it on credit, I have to pay interest. So when you teach them like that, they'll see, I'd rather save and buy on cash than having to buy it on credit. What will happen? They will be more conscious when they grow up, when they start using credit cards. They will try as much as possible to avoid credit cards because they will understand the interest side of it. They will avoid as much as possible taking loans unnecessarily because they will understand, if I take a loan to go for party, I'm going to pay more with interest, yet I could maybe forego the party or save for the party. The second last lesson is this is very important. Remember, when I started, I said something. I said children as young as age 3, they are able to learn to understand money concepts such as saving, spending. Now, for lesson 8, include them in the household budget and financial planning. You are asking me, how can a 3-year-old understand about household budget? Now, what you can do, the whole family can pitch in to save for the holiday trip by cutting out Pizza Fridays or every second of the week. Example, if you are planning to go for if in your household every Friday you buy pizza, okay? If you in your household every Friday you are buying pizza, but then you are planning in 6 months time to go for a family vacation. Remember, a family here, it could be you are a single mom, you're a single dad, or you're just a guardian, all that. Now, if you're planning to go for a vacation in 6 months, what you can do, you can bring everyone on table and let them know we are planning to go for vacation. Now, we need to save towards this vacation. What should we do? We will now cut down on eating pizza every Friday to maybe eating it twice a month, so that the money we used to buy with pizza every Friday will be saved towards vacation. What you are doing is that you are including them in the household financial planning. When it comes to including them in the household budget, if you have teens, especially a child who is age 7 to even 18, let them handle things like grocery. Let them be the one taking care of the grocery budget. Let them be the one to let you know, mommy, we don't have oil in the kitchen, or daddy, the car doesn't have fuel, or we need to give them those roles. Your budget, of course, has grocery, it has expenses like rent, bills. Let your children start learning how to pay that. If your child is 16, seriously, that is a child who needs to be taking care of ensuring that the electricity is paid for, the TV cable is paid for, the internet is working. Now, taking care of is different from doing it. I'm not saying that you now start sending your children to start working so that they can get money. What I'm simply saying is that if, for example, my 7-year-old is the one in charge of rice in the kitchen. Now, anytime we don't have rice, he or she will be accountable. Now, if my 13-year-old is accountable for the electricity bill being paid on time, anytime the person, maybe I forget paying it, and our electricity is cut off, I will automatically, he needs to be responsible. Let them be responsible by taking up roles in your budget. If there's a child that is, you could give them the saving segment. Let them be the one to be responsible. If this month we've said we are going to save on our bills, maybe we are going to ensure we don't let the water just run like that for wastage, or you're not going to let our lights be on the whole night just because we want to see a reduction in our electricity bill. Now, if the electricity bill doesn't reduce, there is a child that is responsible. Why didn't you check the whole house? When everybody is going to sleep, why didn't you check if we've switched off the lights? You are including them in the household budget. You are making them become responsible. You are making them know, I am responsible for the sugar in the kitchen. I need to know if it's almost going to end. I'm the one to come and say, hello everyone in the house, the sugar that we have will take us only 1 week. Please, we need it to be refilled. Let them be the one coming up with the shopping list. Then you, as the adult or the guardian or the parent, you go through it and you can now minus or add things that you feel that they really need or they do not need them. That is how you include them in the budget. And by simply doing that, you are giving this child money skills. You will be amazed such that even when you travel, maybe out of town, and you leave them in the house, they'll still be able to run everything in the house. Not because there's someone, but because you've taught them the skills. Maybe if you've traveled to another, maybe for business, the child will ensure the electricity is paid for. They will remind you, Mommy, yes, I know you are traveling for business, but electricity bill is about to, it needs to be paid on this date. Please do it. So you'll find it actually makes your work easy around the house. That is why we have children. We need to include them in our household budget. Don't be the person who, we've grown up in a culture where it was only the mother or the father who was speaking about money. When they want to speak about money, you send the children outside to play. The games are changing, tables are turning, it's time to include them. When you want to speak about budgeting, let them know. If you are planning to buy a property, include your children. And now this is where you need to train your children not to be children who speak everything to everyone. Train your children to know what to speak to people and what not to speak. Because there are certain decisions you might be needing to make, and having the child on the table, they could spill the beans out to the people who you don't really need them to know about it. So train your children. Also, if you know your children, right? So if you know that your child doesn't have the grace of shutting up if they see a visitor, because I know there are some children, you go to their house and the first thing they do, they'll tell you, you know what, my daddy is planning to buy land, and maybe this daddy of theirs, they owe you money, and they have been telling you we don't have money. So know your child. If the decisions you want to make, they are so noble, and maybe they involve a lot of financial capital, don't mention that to the children. But you can mention them to things like simple budget. Everybody eats, right? So apply wisdom when you are including children to your financial decisions. There are decisions they don't need to know them right now, but as they grow, you can now incorporate them in it. Because again, there are, not everyone wants a good thing for you. And you might mention something to a child, and out of excitement, the child goes out there and says it out, and it attracts more trouble to you. So exercise wisdom on how you involve your children in financial matters. You don't need to involve them in bigger financial decisions, but you can start by letting them understand the basic financial decisions that you do every day in the house. And the last tip, or the last lesson you can teach your children is allow your child to fail and make their own mistakes with their money. Now, something that happens after you've made a lot of mistakes as an adult, you kind of become a perfectionist. And this is what most people have become. Since they've suffered so much, they've had a lot of financial problems, they become financial perfectionists. Now, it's not bad to want to do things good or right, but it becomes bad when you become a perfectionist. Because if you become a perfectionist, then what is the work of God? Then what is the work of the Holy Spirit? Because we go to God because we are constantly not perfect. We are always seeking Him to help us, to give us the grace to be better, not perfect. So extend the same grace to your children. Allow them to make mistakes. Sometimes God allows us to make mistakes so that we can learn from them. He doesn't want us to be perfect. And it's the same when it comes to when you're teaching your children of money skills. Honestly, if this is the first time you're introducing your child to saving, don't expect the child to be able to save for a whole month consistently, or in 3 months consistently. No. At some point they will forget. At some point they will overspend on their pocket money. Allow them to make those mistakes. Don't be too too perfect on your child that they will even miss out on learning the lesson. I'll tell you an example. Most of us, we grew up in household where our parents wanted us to be perfect. Now, they always wanted you to be the top in class. They always wanted you to narrate a poem like so and so. They always wanted you to look like baby so and so. They always wanted you to have manners like the children of your uncles and all that. They wanted us to be perfect children. Now, what is the repercussion? The repercussion is we were not allowed to make mistakes. We were not allowed to be ourselves. So when you've grown up, since you've been in an environment where you are scared of making mistakes, you are even scared of stepping into new horizons. You are scared of stepping out of your comfort zone just because your parent wanted you to be perfect all the time. Since we are changing the narrative when it comes to money skills, allow your children to make mistakes. Let them learn. Let them make the mistakes and learn while they are still in your safe hands, okay? In a safe environment. Let them start saving and fall out of the saving plan while they are still in your household so that you can correct them. As compared to when they start making the same mistakes when they are out there. Remember, the world doesn't care. The world doesn't care about you, about your child. But when they make mistakes while they are still in your environment, under your roof, you allow them to make those mistakes so that they learn and you can correct them with love. So don't be too hard on your children. Don't go now and start telling your children, we are now doing budgeting. No. Start slowly, allow them to make mistakes, and most of all, ask God for the grace to teach them or correct them with love. You may give your child pocket money this month, and for some reason, since he or she is still adapting, they may end up overspending it on things you find them like very childish. Allow them to make that mistake so that you can correct them and let them learn in a safe environment. Don't be that perfectionist parent. If your child today did not perform as you expected in school, let them know it is okay. It's okay. That is why you are there as their parent. You are there to encourage them. Most of the people I've come across personally, I'm so grateful. I grew up in a household where my mom was so encouraging. She was such an encourager. She would encourage me a lot. She would give me words of affirmation a lot. So I never feared making mistakes most of the time, because personally I was never beaten while I was growing up. That is the luxury I had. I was never beaten. So every time I would make a mistake, she would talk to me out and encourage me to become better. So if you're a parent, I'm not saying you don't beat your child. There's a place for beating, but don't be a perfectionist parent. Don't be so hard on your child such that instead of the child loving you as a parent, they are scared of you. Some of you are so scared of your daddy. If your daddy came in the house, you all ran to the bedroom. Change that narrative. And how do you change it? You change it by allowing them to make mistakes while still they are under your roof and correcting them with love. With that said, I think I'll just recap on the lessons. There are 9 lessons. Thank you so much for those who've stayed with me. It's indeed been a long one because I had a lot of lessons. So I'll just recap. Lesson 1 is teach them how money works. And I said you use clear jars and label them. Number 2, teach them how to set saving goals and work towards achieving them. Number 3, teach them how to earn money and create opportunities for them. This will help them to become entrepreneurs. Actually, there is a program I'm planning to start. It will be called Kidpreneurs, whereby I will focus on just teaching children how to be entrepreneurs while they are kids, of course, with the guidance of their parents. Then lesson 4 will be how to manage their money by giving them pocket money. Lesson 5 will be how to invest money. Lesson 6, open a bank account for them so that they can learn to manage money without actually having it in their pockets. Lesson 7, help them understand the pros and cons of buying something on credit. Number 8, include them in your household budgeting and financial planning. This one you need to exercise wisdom, as I said. Then number 9, allow your child to fail and make their own mistakes with their money. And the last, the last lesson is part of money management is giving. Teach your children giving. When you are giving them pocket money, deduct tithe from it and let them know this is tithe and it goes to the house of the Lord. Let them learn how to give. Let them learn how to give offering in church. Let them learn how to give. If they have worked, for example, maybe they've worked for you, they've cleaned the house for you, you've paid them. Teach them to deduct 10% and take it to the house of God. Okay? Teach them giving. Let them understand the power of giving. If they have a lot, maybe they've saved money to buy candy, and now a whole packet of sweets. Honestly, if it's one child, she cannot eat a whole packet of sweets. So teach them to give by sharing that packet of sweets with other children. When you're doing charity events as a family, maybe once in a year you go to a children's home, let them be part of it. Let them give out the toys they are not using anymore. Let them learn to give out the clothes that they are no longer fitting in. Teach them the art of giving. When it comes to the kingdom principles, giving is a principle. You receive when you give. So let it be part of your money skills to your children. Let them learn how to give. Let them learn every money they get, every income they get, there is a portion to be allocated to God. Let them learn about offering. The simplest way I usually tell parents to teach their children about giving offering, when churches resume, we always give our offerings. There is that offering time in the church. Now what you do, if you go to church on Sunday, on Wednesday, all of you come and start packaging your offering. Stop this idea that now you're in church, then they say it's offering time. That is the time you're now starting to search in your handbag. Where is that $10? Where is that $10? Where is that $5? No. You need to learn to package your offering while still at home, so that when you go to church, you are intentional. You are taking this offering to God. Teach your children like that. Let them start to know, on Wednesday I need to package my offering to God. If it's putting it in a nice envelope, if it is like making it secluded to take it to the house of God. That is how you do offering. We don't just you are now in church, then they say it's offering time, then you are like, oh, where's my handbag? No. Bring things to God with order. Like, God is a God of order. So teach your children. Let them know. Even in Sunday school, I don't know if Sunday school do take offering, but start incorporating that concept in them. Let them know if you go to church, it's important for you to give your offering. For those that let them know there's a portion that needs to go to God. They need to be givers to the society. Another way, it's not just about giving clothes, food and all that. If your child is so good at dancing or singing, if their friend is having a birthday, let them go and offer their singing skills to their friend. Let them go and recite that poem to their friends. They are giving. So teach them the art of giving. It will go a long way, and it is part of money skills that personally I teach to my children who are clients, and of course to my clients who are adults. So I'll take in your questions. I'm again very sorry. I'm very sorry I've taken a lot of time, because this is something I really felt God leading me to share with us. If you have, I know most of us here, we are yet to be biological parents, but if you have your sisters, your brothers that have kids, share these lessons with them. If God has granted you the grace to be in the children's ministry, ensure you teach those children that God has given you to be under your grace the lessons of stewardship, which part of it is money management. If you are a guardian, if you are a mentor, ensure you teach this. Those who go to do mentorship in schools, touch base on this. There are schools that are boarding schools. Children are given pocket money. Touch base on that. If you are maybe you're a grandparent or you're a grandparent, or you just have children around you, they could be teen, they could be young ones, ensure you teach them. Listen to this live video. I did it for free because I want you to share this to your friends. I'll take in your questions. We've taken quite some time, so I'll be taking at least some few questions, and if I'll not be able to answer all your questions right now, just write them up. I will go through the comment section later on and answer them. And again, feel free to inbox me. Thank you so much to those that have been inboxing me, sharing with me the financial issues, and a big thank you to those that have chosen me to be part of their financial journey. You can always follow me on Facebook page, Financial Wellness Center, where I teach more on money principles. And of course, I have introduced a program where I bring different people to share with us about money and business. You may also visit my YouTube channel to be able to watch more videos about money management and business management. And the best thing you can do for me in that YouTube channel is, number one, watch the videos and get the lessons, and number two is subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notification, so that the more you watch, the more you give my videos a chance to be put higher for more people to see them. Remember, I'm not doing that for money. I'm just doing that because I want more. You will have helped me transform a generation just by watching those videos. Number one, you will get the knowledge. Number two, you will help the videos to be ranked higher in the platform, so that more people can get to watch it. And number three, by subscribing, you will have given us the motivation to keep on uploading more videos. So what if you wait Mary said, what can they start investing in? As I said, there are a lot of things you can start investing in. I mentioned earlier my story. When I was like 8 years old, my first investment was I bought a chicken from my mom's poultry farm, and now I reared that chicken until it multiplied. Now for your child, after they've saved, you can invest with them in things like government bills, government bonds, stock market. Although it's very risky, the market keeps on going up and down, so they might lose a lot of money. Or you can even choose to invest in trust funds, or you can also choose to invest in money market funds, because that is at least less riskier for your child. So the most important thing is go with them. If you're going to invest with them in a money market fund, don't let them stay at home, then you're doing it on their behalf. You're not teaching them anything. Go with them. You tell them, baby, you've saved maybe $1,000 so far. Now we are going to invest this money to a trust fund. Wake up, dress up, let's go. So you go with that child. Don't leave them at home. The same way, when you are going to offer something to God, go with your child. When you are going to pray, go with your child. Don't leave your child playing outside there and then you are going to play. No. Go with them. So when you are going to invest, go with them. Let them ask questions. You will be planting something in them. So for Mary, the best investment you can do with them is a trust fund, money market funds. If you can top up for them the amount of money so that they can invest in government bills and bonds. That will be perfect. Elijah, you're saying you're a parent to teach your child, teen or not incorrect. It's not about it's not about the child is not a teen, or that is the reason why you are a parent. That is why the Bible say father and mother to take care of their children. Part of taking care of a child is teaching them principles. So teach your child. Don't say your child is too young. No, there is no young child. So long as they can copy anything you are doing, it means they can learn what you show them. Mary, what can they start selling? Honestly, that is up to you. You have to create the opportunity. You have to create the opportunity for them. Look around. You can, we view selling like just making profit and all that. But for a child, let them even start, teach them. If they can bake, let them bake and sell the cakes to the people in the household. If they can sing, let them sing for their aunties and uncles at a fee. Don't teach them the art of entrepreneurship. They don't need to go to the market and start selling candies. Be their first market. Be their first market. Be their first customer. Let them know that they have been empowered. There are kids who are so talented. Don't let that talent go to waste. Be their first supporter. And being their first supporter could even be being their customer. Be their customer. If a child has, they've painted something so nice. They've drawn a nice picture of you. Don't say that, no, I'm a parent, that is okay. No. Buy it from them. What you're doing is you're encouraging the spirit of entrepreneurship in them. So let them learn. Mary, you have a lot of questions. How can they earn during this lockdown? I've just said it. Be their first customer. Let them monetize the skills they have. Teach them. I think those are the questions that I've been able to see. Okay. Thanks to all that joined us. If you have any question, or if you'll be able to watch this live session later on, please feel free to ask your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them later on. To those that need me to work with them on a personal basis, feel free to contact me. My inbox is always open. I'll be more than happy to get back to you. And again, sometimes I get a high turnover of inboxes. I might take a while, but be sure I will revert back. And most of all, go like my page, Financial Wellness Center, so that you can stay updated with money and business tips, and of course get to become more smarter, more wiser, more knowledgeable when it comes to handling money. So until then, I thank you all for your time. May God really bless you, and may He remember this sacrifice that you've done today to watch me and to sit down and listen. May He honor it. Mary, I will be attaching my YouTube channel. It's under the name Financial Wellness with Sheila Mboga. I will attach the link on the live session. So thank you so much. God bless you. I'm so honored to be here with you right now. I thank God for the opportunity, and most of all, let's impact our generation by planting the right seeds. If you need to rewatch this live session, please do get the notes and put them into action. Stay safe, and God bless you. Thank you so much.